Bam! My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. You guys know what we're doing. But first of all, let me just say it's a beautiful day, my peoples. Thank you, God, for giving us another one. And salute to everybody tuning in. Yes, sir. Toy Mafia in the building. Shaggy, Side, Unlaced. JJ's in their house. Appreciate you guys dropping in. Nice and early in the morning. We talking boxing, gentlemen. And of course, we got fights this weekend. Usyk versus the karate guy, Rico, the cherry. That's going down on Saturday. But we also have some real good fights. And I have to say that they've done a very good job of promoting this. And I like the whole concept, in Egypt with them, all the promotional footage in front of the pyramids and the Sphinx and all of that stuff. They're doing a great job of promoting this event. Now, it's not just this cherry pick that we got going on over here. Because let's face it, Rico's gonna get beat up. Beat up, my peoples. That's the way that it's going down. I'm telling you. Man, I don't know. I don't know if he could make it interesting for a little bit or Usyk is a fighter who doesn't just rush out there. He'll take his time. He'll figure you out. So during that time, maybe Rico could do something and have a moment. Because if he lands one clean shot, which he will at some point, it happens. But if he lands a nice, good shot early, the crowd will go crazy. Oh, he landed a shot. You're right, Si. Beat him up. That's just the way it's going down. Usyk. I don't know what this fight breaks down to is one simple thing. I'm going to tell you what this breaks down to. How much of a beating can Rico take? That's what it goes down to. What type of beating? Can he take a 12-round beating from Usyk? Maybe, he a tough fighter. He, even though he can't box to save his life, because he only got one professional fight. You in there with a former #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So the odds of you winning is like, we have a better chance of playing the lottery today and winning it than Rico got a shot at beating Alexander Usyk. I'll put it to you like that. And we say in boxing, you never know, right? That's true. One punch can change the outcome of a fight. But you have to understand, Rico's a guy with almost zero boxing experience. So I understand he a karate guy or a kickboxing guy, whatever it is. Nah, you're not going to mess with a boxer, Alexander Usyk. The only reason Usyk is not #1 in the pound-for-pound list right now is because he's fighting Rico. And Naoya Ino is coming off of beating the #6 pound-for-pound fighter in the world in Junto Nakatani. So, of course, he's going to overpass him. But ultimately, my peoples, we have to understand, Rico got no shot. Alexander Usyk is going to beat him up, my peoples. Beating of a lifetime. So it's like I told you, all this thing is going to break down to is how much of a beating is Rico going to be able to take? Is he just going to take a knee and say, fuck it, I'm done? Is the referee going to save him from a pummeling session? Or how does this play out? He got no chance. No whatsoever. But wait a minute, my people, because you have to remember, that's the main event. We got a good night of boxing coming up, which, by the way, you guys know I'm going to be calling them fights live. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to be in the building calling them fights. But first, let me start off with Torres versus Sanchez. That's going to be a slugfest, my peoples. That will be a brutal slugfest. Sanchez is the toughest opponent Torres Jr. has faced in his career. That's it right there. He's about to fight that dude. So it's going to be a tough one. It's a tough test for him. Moving up, stepping up. Can Richard Torres pass this test? Can he, look spectacular? Or how does this fight play out? Tell you what. Torres Jr. versus Sanchez is going to be a competitive showdown. Both fighters have serious power. They like to be aggressive. Knockout power on both sides. What can you expect other than fireworks? Fireworks, my peoples. That's what we're about to get. So, I don't see this fight going the distance. I'm not making a prediction, right? Sabriel, bam, salute, family. Salute to those tuning in on Box Center 2.0. Salute to everybody tuning in on Box Center with JSmiff. My peoples, this is Boxing for Breakfast, man. You're getting a sweet, healthy dosage of sweet science. Nice and early in the morning. But check it. Richard Torres Jr., if he wins this fight, it looks like he's going to start positioning himself to pursue a title shot. He's going to start, making that move in the rankings. Come on now. Come on. Richard Torres Jr. is a fighter who is one of those guys who's going to be in the mix. When you think about the heavyweights, when you talk about the heavyweights and how explosive it is with these young fighters coming up, when you look at Caballero, Talma, Turamoana, you look at all these fighters and it's like, whoa, the heavyweight division is going to be explosive. And all these guys have to see each other. All of them are going to... As a matter of fact, mostly Talma, I saw that he signed already to fight somebody. I forgot who, and it's a real tough opponent as well. JJ said there's going to be lots of fireworks. Oh, man, listen. This fight don't go the distance. I do not foresee this fight going 12 rounds. There's just no way. Damn it, Ford. Frank sending Torres back to the drawing board. Whoa. Chauncey Pettis, Jack Johnson, it's the GOAT. I'm going to tell you what, Demon Ford. This is going to be the toughest fight, I believe, for both of them potentially. And the thing is their style of boxing. Neither one of those guys has a style where they want to be moving around and Sanchez is Cuban, but he a knockout guy. He wanna stand in the pocket with you and trade leather. They both got that type of style. So what can we expect other than a slugfest? That's what's going down. That's how it's going down, my peoples. Yes, sir. Jerome, bam, salute, family. So, if I could make a prediction right now, who's going to win this fight? I have to think about it, but before one of y'all try to steal my prediction, Richard Torres Jr. versus Sanchez. Oh, shit, I can't remember Sanchez's first name. Sanchez's first name, my peoples. Help me out. I'm cooked. Can't remember. Damn, I really can't remember. Make your predictions. Do not duck that prediction. Torres Jr., Sanchez. Who's going to win this fight? Bam. Don't be ducking it. Don't be ducking it. If you're on Box Center 2.0, if you're on Box Center with JSmiff, don't be ducking that prediction. I know y'all scared to death. Scared to death to predict the outcome of this fight. Because y'all know anybody could take a nap. Damn it, Ford. Frank Sanchez. Hold on, because you're telling me the first name. I appreciate that. But are you also predicting Frank Sanchez to sleep Richard Torres Jr.? Or you just telling me the name? Make a prediction. Don't duck it, my people. Don't be scared. Richard Torres Jr., Frank Sanchez. We're going to see the fireworks. We're going to get the legitimate fireworks. So get ready for the smoke. Yes, sir. Just point this out. That's a slugfest. Guaranteed. Does not go the distance. I already told you this. Remember that. But guess what? We got Catterall versus Giyasov going down. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good fight, which is also very hard to predict. Why? You guys know about Jack Catterall. You know the work he's been putting in. And Giyasov is not as known, but he's getting his respect. A lot of people respected him. And let me just point something out real quick about Giyasov. Point something out real quick about Giyasov. Damn it, for Frank over Torres. Look what Rolly said, my peoples. I'm retired. I haven't fought in a year, so I'm retired. I got ducked by nearly everybody. It's crazy. Wait a minute, wait a minute, Rollies. He said he got ducked by nearly everybody. I like the way that he put the nearly in there. My people's Giyasov, the guy that's about to fight Jack Catterall, that's his mandatory. Clifton Dennis, bam, salute, my God. Dennis, Giyasov, do you favor him? I haven't, it's a tough prediction to make. Giyasov can fight. But look, he's the mandatory for Rolly's belt. Matter of fact, right now, they're going to fight for the regular titles on the line. So, Rolly's is talking about retiring. Why not? Why you don't want to fight your mandatory? By the way, Devin Haney hinted at Rolly's ducking his mandatory. Like, oh, you thirsty to fight me quick because you don't want to smoke with your mandatory. Come on now. Yo, Devin Haney calling him out with that. Like, yo, what's up? Go handle your mandatory. But ultimately, who's going to fight Giyasov? Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall. So, and you guys know Jack Catterall is about that smoke. It's going to be a real good fight. Going to be a tough fight for both sides because of the styles that they bring to the table. So I like this fight. Let's see. The guy to win this one is going after Rolly's because Rolly got the main title. So Giyasov is the mandatory for Rolly's, but he gotta beat Jack Catterall, and then we'll see what happens after that. It's gonna be interesting how this plays out. But Rolly's is sounding like he's trying to duck. And guess what, my peoples? We got Hamza Shiraz also. He's also gonna be fighting on Saturday. I know the poster. That looks like it's Rogelio Shiraz. But it's Hamza, I promise you. And Hamza's going to be looking to win in spectacular fashion like he always does. Let's get it. Another fight I'm looking forward to. So think about it. We're talking about the main event. Usyk versus the karate guy. Right? But how about Frank Sanchez versus Richard Torres Jr.? That's a heck of a fight. Jack Catterall as well versus Giyasov. That's a real good fight. And now we're talking about Hamza Shiraz as well. He's going to be doing his thing versus a real good opponent. So it's a good card, my people. We get some serious action. And I'm not even, those are not all the fights. I'm saying like the last few fights before the main event. We're going to get a lot of smoke on Saturday, my people. Lots of smoke. Is anybody going to be upset? We shall see. We shall see. But Very competitive fights. Anybody, look, dare I say Richard Torres Jr. versus Frank Sanchez, it's a 50-50 fight. 50-50, fellas. The first guy to land something big, that's it. It's over. Devastating blow. I'm going to put it to you like this. With this fight right here, it's not about whether or not it goes the distance. This fight right here is about the over and under. So I'm going to give you the over and under right now. And you guys tell me. Over and under. Frank Sanchez, Richard Torres Jr. 8 rounds. There you go right there. Do you say or think that this fight goes more than 8 rounds or less than 8 rounds? There you go right there. That's my over and under for this fight. I don't see it going the distance. If you think it is going the distance, then for you it goes over 8 rounds. And then if you think it's going to be a stoppage, when do you think it gets stopped? JSmiff under 10 and over 7. Damn, yo, now you can't be the over and under. I got the over and under at 8 rounds. You can't go over the 8 rounds and under the 8 rounds. Golly. You got to pick one or the other. Does it go over 8 rounds or below 8 rounds? Marie, less than a thing. Are you going to watch this fight live? Oh, definitely. I'm calling these fights. Calling these fights live. And we're going to watch the devastation that will take place in this one. Because if it doesn't go the distance, okay, now we're saying it's a stoppage. How does it stop? Both of these guys can end it with one brutal shot. Boom, sleep. Sleep well. JJ said there's a safety net, JSmiff. Whoa, that's a big safety net, bro. Both sides, golly. I'm going to say this, man. I see the fight ending in a stoppage. I'm giving you what the over and under is. Round number 8. Before that or after that? Who, and okay, JJ, who goes to sleep? Who goes to sleep? You're saying under 10 and over 7. Okay. Between 7 and 10. Between Richard Torres Jr. and Frank Sanchez. Who's going to sleep? Right now, Torres Jr. obviously undefeated. Frank Sanchez got 1 L in his resume to Caballero. Who goes to sleep in this fight? We saying it's not going the distance. Al Booger, bam, salute my brother on Box Center 2.0. Yes, sir. Sanchez versus Torres. They going the distance, in my opinion. Whoa. There you have it, my peoples. Al Booger got them going 12 rounds. A 12-round slugfest. That's what that's going to turn into. That's what that's going to turn into. If it goes distance. It's like I told you, take the 2 styles into consideration. These guys are not going to be using their footwork a lot to get that distance. Nah. They're going to be in there mixing it up a lot. Devin Ford, big win for Torres. If he can pull it off, yeah, that's going to be the biggest win of his career. Tough opponent in Frank Sanchez. So I'm looking forward to that fight, man. That's one of those that you know is going to be action-packed. And then, of course, man, Catterall versus Guillasso. Ooh. Just know, it appears as if though Rollies does not want to fight Guillasso. It looks like he don't want that smoke. So, that tells you what type of fighter he is. MS, win against Moses Italman. Damn, you trying to get the winner beat up. Nah. I'm just joking. Look, I've seen somebody ask Richard Torres Jr. About that fight, and he said at some point, at some point it'll happen, but not now. They're both building. They're both going up. So, and honestly, I don't expect to see that fight anytime soon because of that. To me, we get to see it when at least one of them is already a world champion. And then, okay, let's fight each other. The young guns, when you talk about Richard Torres Jr., Moses Itauma, damn, man, how Jared Anderson fell off that race. You guys got to think about it. At some point, even Tyson Fury ran into Jared Anderson and was like, yo, he's next. He's the guy that's going to take over next. And wow, yo, what a drop-off. What a drop-off. It's like every time we talking about the heavyweights, nobody even bring up Jared Anderson. I got to bring him up. Nobody in the comments will be like, yo, but Jared Anderson, he could beat Itama, he could beat one of these guys. Like, nobody even expect him to even compete with one of those guys. Damn, my peoples. Come on now. Jared Anderson can fight. But I agree, them guys beat him up. Y'all right. Y'all right, my peoples. Jared Anderson step in there with them dudes, he get beat up. And fellas, remember, we're also getting Hamza Shiraz. I know they decided to use an image of Gerardo Shiraz for the poster. Hamza Shiraz is going to be in action, fellas. Johnny Martin, good morning. All my beautiful brothers and sisters, much love. Bam, salute, family. Yo, I appreciate you, brother. Yesterday, I saw you in the comments when I was chopping it up with Greg Hackett. Johnny Martin, salute, my brother. JJ's in that's exactly JSmiff. People like, who is that? I'm telling you, who the fuck is that? Hamza Shiraz. You better believe it. Al Booger, crazy. Everybody threw Jared away after one loss. Yo, Jared Anderson took one out, and that's it. Everybody just threw him under the bus. Golly. Master Killer, there he go. Bam, salute. Johnny Martin always. MS. Win against Jarrell Miller. Toupee. That's a gift. Listen, at some point, we could see Big Baby versus Big Baby. Because Jared Anderson is Big Baby too. So that Jared Anderson versus Jarrell Miller. The babies. The baby war. MS. The toupee. Look, my peoples. Besides the fact that they use Jose Antonio Shiraz for the poster, Hamza Shiraz is going to be there on Saturday and he's going to do what he does. You could be sure of that. He's looking to be explosive, looking to be spectacular. And that's what I expect to see from Hamza. JJ said that's 13 likes. Golly. Devastating blow, my peoples. Y'all giving me the pure devastating blows. But I digressed. Fellas, they asked Giasov about rollies. Johnny Martin, the baby war is too funny. I'm saying, there's two babies. And they're gonna fight. That's what I came up with. But listen, they asked Giasov about rollies, and he was like, "Yo, he might get scared. He don't want it." So, is Rolly? He's talking about retiring from the sport of boxing because nearly everybody ducked him. Well, Giasov ain't ducked. Come on now. But I see that Rolly's frustrated. He hasn't been able to get a fight. Hopefully, he can get back in the ring soon. Johnny Ward. You're funny. Love it. Appreciate you, big dog. Juan San Juan. Frank Sanchez. In 3 reasons. Do you mean in 3 rounds? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because a lot of people saying that Richard Torres Jr. is going to put the beating of a lifetime on him. So, are you saying this the other way around? Frank Sanchez is going to beat him up. It's going to be a good fight, man. It's going to be Richard Torres Jr.'s toughest opponent that he's faced, the best opponent that he faced. But it's the same thing for Frank Sanchez. Oh, and we all know this, my peoples. Styles make fights. These 2 styles, they make up for a slugfest. Somebody, the first person to get hurt, they get stopped. Remember I told you that. You get hurt, you're going to sleep. It's nap time. Just like that. Anybody could go to sleep in this fight. Who's the more skilled fighter out of the 2? Who's going to outbox who? I'm not sure, my peoples. I'm not sure. Frank Sanchez is nice with the hands. And Richard Torres Jr. too. But this is not going to be one of those, we moving around and we dancing around each other type of fights. This is one of those, a fight breaks out in the first round, I promise you. They both going to pull out the heavy artillery. Bam, bam, bam. Round number 1. Why am I telling you this? And I feel confident. I stand on 10 toes behind this. Because I know that Richard Torres Jr. is going to try to unload in the first round. Big shots. And Frank Sanchez, I seen him fight a bunch of times. We all seen him fight. This guy, he don't get hit and stay hit. Or he don't let you go off and just go in a shell or something. Nah, he let the hands fly. Look at the resume. Frank Sanchez out there to knock you out. Johnny Martin, have a busy day. Have a great day. Blessed day, brother, in Christ. Salute, family. Appreciate you dropping in. Amen. Fellas, this fight's not going the distance. Remember that I told you that. Not going the distance. I'm not predicting the outcome, which I will. But this is a tough prediction to make, fellas. When you look at what both fighters bring to the table and the level of aggressiveness that both guys display, it's like, damn. If they exchange it inside of the phone booth, whoever lands clean, that's it. It could be right there. Let's get it, my peoples. I'm excited. I gotta tell you, I'm excited for this one. So look at a quick recap of this card, right? Obviously, we're gonna get Usyk versus Rico, the karate guy. We're not expecting this main event to be very competitive, I think. Or I ask you guys, does anyone think that this fight is going to be competitive? Is Rico going to go the distance with Alexander Usyk and have his moments? Is Usyk going to have to win this fight by split decision or underrated Will? Yes. Ooh, underrated Will says it's going to be a competitive fight. Whoa. You got a lot of faith in Rico, underrated Will. A lot of faith in a karate guy. Who a lot of us think is going to take the beating of a lifetime. Underrated Will. The distance. Rico's going to win by unanimous or by split? Oh, how do you see this playing out, underrated Will? Underrated Will is the first one to say that Rico's going to do it. What have you got to say about this underrated Will? My peoples. Never seen before footage of someone admitting that they see Rico beating Usyk. Underrated Will. Let me see what he got to say. No, he not going to win. He just going the distance. Ah, man. Damn, underrated Will. You disappointed me. I thought you had Rico winning it. Wah, wah, wah. Well, my peoples, we still haven't seen nobody who has Rico winning. This was a false alarm, ladies and gentlemen. Golly. Nobody. The only person I seen saying that Rico is going to be dangerous was His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. Besides him, nobody even think he got a shred of a chance. Rico's a cherry. I'm sorry for being honest. Cherry picking Usyk. That's what we got. But listen, you guys know that I'm trash talking because I got mad respect for Alexander Usyk and everything he's been able to accomplish in the sport of boxing. But of course, we know there's an easy fight. There's gonna be an easy win. A lot of people are saying, "Yo, he deserved it. He deserved it. He's been fighting a lot of tough opponents back to back to back." So it's gonna be a easy win for Usyk, and then we'll see what goes after. Let's see what transpires after Usyk gives Rico the beating of a lifetime. That's what he's gonna dish out. Rico's gonna get beat up, man. Damn, Rico, you really thought you had a chance, homie. They got you. If I had Rico sitting in front of me after the fight, imagine me interviewing Rico, bro. I'll be like, yo, Rico. So you really thought you had a chance, right? You thought you had it. Matter of fact, I can't even interview Rico after the fight. Because if I did, he'd probably punch me in the face. Because I'm going to just be asking him like, yo, you really thought you had a chance? You didn't know you was going to get beat up. You really didn't know. So how I know you was going to get beat up and you didn't know? But let me just say, Rico's going to get the bag. Maybe Usyk is going to carry him a few rounds. Maybe Usyk, let me carry this dude. Those 6, 7 rounds. Let him look good, gain his confidence. And then I'll beat him up. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Usyk is not going to make the same mistake that Tyson Fury made when he fought Francis Ngannou. Guarantee you, Usyk took this training camp like he's going to fight a world champion, like he always prepares, and is going to be in his best shape for this fight. So, he's not going in there with the mindset of, oh, I'm fighting this karate guy. I don't even got to train like that. Nah. Usyk is going in there to beat him up. Like, yeah, karate guy. Talk this shit. Feel confident. Because that's the thing, my peoples, that I realize. Folks who practice a different martial art, for whatever reason, because they're good strikers in their martial art, they feel like they could go to boxing and have some success. And that's actually pretty ridiculous. You know why? Because there is no martial art out there with a more advanced punching system than boxing. There is no martial art out there that has a punching system that you can match it up with boxing and is going to be successful. That should have been established a very long time ago. A very long time ago. Like, for example, you could take a black belt Taekwondo guy and an amateur boxer will give him the beating of a lifetime. in the ring. Beating of a lifetime. I want you to think about that. You could take a black belt in Taekwondo, a black belt in Judo, a black belt. You could take a MMA fighter, the most experienced. You could take from all these martial arts the best strikers, and when you put them in the ring with a boxer, they getting beat up. Every one of them beat up. Anything else is different. If you're talking about full contact and kicking the knees and takedowns, that's different. But hand-to-hand combat, you can't mess with a boxer. No matter how good you are in your sport at striking, when you step in the ring, you're getting beat up. MS, most MMA fighters that fight boxers in crossover matches get KO'd with a straight right. Classic, like AJ versus Nagano in recent time, man. Nagano just got brutalized with that right hand, right down the pipe too. The thing is that MMA fighters, you know, they strike too. And there's some good strikers. Nagano is considered one of them. Problem is that in MMA, you strike it with those little gloves. Having those little gloves and punching with them, that's almost like punching barehanded as far as their weight in your hand. Punching with boxing gloves is different. It's a different ball game. It's a different art. It's a different technique. So when these guys come in and say, yeah, I'm going to go strike, I'm going to beat up a boxer, they always get pummeled. Well, look, think about this. We've never seen an MMA fighter get a significant win in boxing. Well, look, the most significant crossover win was Anderson Silva versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who at the time was already a full-blown cokehead, full-blown alcoholic, full-blown party animal. Hadn't fought in years, hadn't been a champion in years, but a significant win, like a highly ranked opponent or something like that, you're never going to see it from an MMA fighter. Take, update. I found JP, he good. Oh, that's what's up. Happy to hear that, bro. Super happy to hear that. John Parham, yes, sir. He good. There you have it, my people. I told you, sometimes people got things going on. Daisy Sanchez, Frank Sanchez. In 6th round. Ooh, you got Frank Sanchez sleeping? Richard Torres Jr. in brutal fashion. Now, does the referee step in and stop the fight? Or is it a devastating blow that sends him to the canvas? Look, I haven't made a prediction myself as far as who's going to win, but I know this doesn't go the distance. I feel comfortable telling you that. I think somebody earlier said, yeah, this fight going the distance. It's not going the distance, fellas. Forget it. Al Booger. Usyk looks great. Looks like he's in great shape. He's going to put hands all over Rico. Respect to Usyk. He respects all opponents. He's going to be fully prepared. That's facts. Alexander Usyk is not going to show up, hot dogging it. He's trying to give Rico the beating of a lifetime. And remind them, nah, this is my shit right here. The lunatic libertarian. Torres should be a cruiserweight. Well, he's been in the heavyweight division this whole time. That's where he feel comfortable at. That's where he's at, bro. I'm not sure how you came up with that conclusion, but he's a heavyweight. Wes does it. I've been ghost watching. But hit the like button, my G. Good morning, Box Center family. Bam. Salute, Wes Dustin. Appreciate you dropping in. While you're at it, go ahead and make your prediction, dog. Frank Sanchez, Richard Torres Jr. Number 1, who wins this fight? Number 2, do you think it goes the distance? I say it doesn't. I say somebody goes to sleep. Big Talk Media, Cuba School of Boxing. Are you saying Frank Sanchez is going to beat him up? This is Richard Torres Jr. toughest fight, my peoples. Right here. Right here. A knockout puncher, a big guy, a dude who's gonna stand in front of you and trade nasty leather. Whoa. Big Talk Media, 6 rounds. Ooh, you got the under. My overall under for this fight is 8 rounds. Does somebody go to sleep before round number 8? Or is the knockout gonna show up after round number 8? I don't want to hear the distance. This fight's not going the distance, my people. Just look at the way that both of these guys fight. And you know that it doesn't go 12. Ask JSmiff, any thoughts on Federico Pacheco? He's a promising heavyweight prospect. We're Golden Boy. Happens to Diego Pacheco's younger bro. He's a KO artist thus far. I mean, I see little clips of him, but honestly, I'm not familiar with him at all. Besides little clips I've seen here and there. So it's hard for me to say he looks like he's talented. He looks like he's good, but it's hard for me to say how good he actually is. Wes does it. I don't know enough about them to give a worthwhile prediction. I just be guessing. I appreciate that. I appreciate that Wes does it. I can tell you so that you have an idea of what type of action we're going to get. Obviously, you know Richard Torres Jr. is undefeated. I think you know that. Frank Sanchez only got 1 loss in his resume to Caballero. Both of them have a high knockout percentage. You know, both of them like to trade leather. Neither one of these guys ever fights off of their footwork. You know, Frank Sanchez is Cuban, but he don't have the traditional Cuban style of move, move, move. He got real good footwork, but he like to stand in there and bang. You know, I haven't been able to make a prediction because this fight is that competitive. Anybody could go to sleep in this one, bro. Tell you that. So you do not want to miss it. Daisy Sanchez. You can tell right away Top Rank not involved. Otherwise, Torres be fighting a football player. Damn. Now listen. Maybe Top Rank is like, okay, let's start, raising the bar for him. Because they allowed this fight to happen, right? They allowed it to happen. Wes does it. Sounds like potentially slugfest. I will be tuned in. No, listen, Wes does it. I promise you. This is not coming from JSmiff. This is coming from J Stradamus. I promise you. This thing is going to be a slugfest. And there's a very high probability that a fight breaks out in the first round. Why? Torres Jr. is the type of fighter who likes to apply pressure early, who likes to go with those hard punches. And then you have an opponent in Frank Sanchez who returns fire immediately. He's not the type of guy to go in a shell or to use the footwork to get away from the guy. He's going to return fire. So we're going to see who's going to be the first one to pull out the heavy artillery, and the other one is going to return fire. I say that happens in the first round. The lunatic libertarian, Torres, by decision. Man, I don't see this fight going to a decision. I don't see it. My over and under, 8 rounds. Does it go below 8 rounds or above 8 rounds? Big Talk Media. Torres was out of shape. Always out shape. I mean, he got a frame that he looks kind of, fluffy. But he's a strong guy, too. He's a strong guy. He let the hands fly. Got fast hands. So, matter of fact, I would compare Richard Torres Jr. hand speed to John Ruiz. Is it John Ruiz? No, it's not John Ruiz. To Ruiz. Arma. Salute, family. Bam. Appreciate you tuning in. The lunatic libertarian. Sanchez is getting older. Torres has issues. We're getting past the jab. This will be a chess match. But I could be wrong. This is boxing. Big Talk Media. Jerry Cooley. Nah, bro, I don't think there's going to be no chess match. I think it could be a chess match early. Andy Ruiz, my bad, there you have it. I think it could be a chess match early, but nah, a fight is gonna break out. Devin Ford, Frank Cumming Mexican style. I'm trying to tell you. If you think that Frank Sanchez is gonna be moving around and Richard Torres dancing with him and it's gonna turn into a jab fest, nah, bro. You're gonna see them looping rights and lefts from Richard Torres Jr. And you're gonna see Frank Sanchez trying to go right down the pipe, right down the middle with the right hand. Devastating blows from both sides. But yes, Andy Ruiz. Big Talk Media. Andy Ruiz stops both on the same day, respectfully. Man, listen, it makes me sad that Andy Ruiz hasn't been in the ring in such a long time. At some point, supposedly he was going to sign with Zuffa Boxing, and I don't know what happened. It didn't work out for whatever reason. Let's see, man. Let's see, because Andy Ruiz is one of those fighters who you know is going to give you a good fight every time out. You know you're going to get the smoke, but hasn't been able to get in the ring. Wes Dustin, I miss Andy in the mix. Me too, my brother. You know you're going to get the smoke when you step in there. Daisy Sanchez, what's your opinion? Ryan versus Conor fighting same day as Canelo. So, I don't want to say that they're fighting the same day as Canelo because that hasn't been announced officially. We see Ryan Garcia go on Jimmy Fallon and say that he was going to fight Conor Ben and all that stuff. But Golden Boy hasn't posted that fight. Zuffa hasn't posted that fight. Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya, neither one of those guys has said anything about that fight. So, you know, it's too many times where I've seen a fighter who wants a fight, who talks to the other side and say, we're going to do it, and they kind of jump the gun, they announce it, and then the fight doesn't happen. Remember when Ryan Garcia announced that he was going to fight Manny Pacquiao? Jumped the gun, right? So, that's my opinion. Until that fight isn't officially announced, I don't even know that it's going to happen. The lunatic libertarian. Andy has priced himself out of so many fights. I mean, I don't know if he priced himself out or what happened, but damn, we want to see him fight, right? The lunatic libertarian. Conor could stop Ryan. Yeah, but Ryan can also stop Conor. That's a good fight. That's a real competitive fight. Daisy Sanchez. Ever since Andy lost that weight, he lost his fighting spirit. You know, to be honest, the best version that we've seen of Andy is when he was a little bit bigger. It is. Big Talk Media. Andy deserves every dime. True heavyweight. He does. I agree with that 100%. Pay the man. But you also got to try to stay active because inactivity is the enemy of a fighter. That's their enemy right there. And the older you get, the worse it is for you to be inactive. Andy's already in his mid-30s. You got to fight. If you're not fighting at all, then you got to take a pay cut if you have to. And fight, get in the ring. Get active. Big Talk Media. Juan San Juan. Greetings, brother, from Tampa, Florida. Whoa, Tampa, Florida in the building. Bam. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. To get this healthy dosage of sweet science nice and early in the morning, my peoples. Devin Ford. Andy has weight issues. Wes Dustin. Andy Ruiz is in those silk sheets now. Oh, man. Is he going to be kind of like Buster Douglas, who beat Mike Tyson, became a world champion, lost it in his very next fight, and never got it back? Is Andy Ruiz a one-hit wonder, my people? Is that it? Or could he actually make a comeback and become a world champion again? Big Talk Media, see? That other day, Andy shopping for a promoter. He said Matchroom or Zuffa. And it looks like it didn't work out with Zuffa. Let's see if they can make something happen with Matchroom. Cross Country Hustler. Salute, family. Bam! Like I told y'all, man, look, my breakdown for this fight is gonna be competitive. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna turn into a slugfest. Over or under, as far as who goes to sleep, round number 8. I don't see it going the distance. West does it. We all know Andy ain't been the same since Joshua's second fight. So I'm gonna say Andy hasn't been the same since the first fight. Because obviously that first fight, he performed the way that he did. And then for the second fight, he showed up, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds heavier. Looking like he was out of shape. And we saw how it played out. There was nothing he could do with AJ on that second fight. Cross Country Hustler. I don't know why fighters think they can be always so long and come back and be a top dog. So here's the thing. There's fighters that can do it. There's fighters that can be away, come back, and handle business right away. But you know who those fighters are, my G? Those are the fighters who haven't fought in a year or 2 years, but they still been going to the gym. They still been running. They still fit. They still keep their body in shape. And then when they say it's time to fight, they go into a training camp and prepare for the fight, technically. And they can still do it. But the fighters who balloon up in weight crazy and then have to go into a fight, go into a training camp, they oftentimes end up getting beat up at one point or another. It catches up, even if they always win, but eventually it catches up to them. Eventually. Why? Because just think about this. Let's say one of you guys is going to fight me, and we're going to fight at 140, right? You're going to fight me at 140. I'm walking around at 150. And I'm going to the gym, I'm running, I'm sparring, jumping rope, and I'm at 150, right? You weigh 180, and you're not doing nothing. You're just fat. You're going to fight at 140. We enter a contract to fight at 140. When we get to fight night, you made weight. You made it. You made 140 the day before. We're going to fight at 140. And you got to understand, in my training camp, I only lost 10 pounds. I lost those 10 pounds training. With the running and the things that I was doing, I lost those 10 pounds easy. A week before the fight, I already made weight. So guess what? I'm putting most of my focus on the technical aspect of this fight. I'm watching video. I'm working on the things that I feel like are going to put a hole in you. That's what I'm working on, my craft. You, on the other hand, you had 40 pounds. So because of that, you had to spend hours in a sauna. While you was in the sauna, I was on the back. You had to spend way more hours running than me because of that weight. While you was doing those extra hours, those 2 days, I was working on the pads. Pop, 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 pop. Combinations. Pop. So my training camp and your training camp, it don't look the same, family. I like that phrase that Boost used. I never heard it before. You in fat camp. I mean, I heard fat camp before, but not for boxers. You in fat camp. So while you in fat camp dealing with that weight, I'm working on my technique. I'm working on my craft, my strategy, my game to beat your ass. It's a different ballgame. When we meet up, I'm really, really prepared to whoop your ass. You're not prepared to beat me. You over here depleted from losing them 40 pounds. Sometimes we see fighters lose who they were the best fighter in the ring, but they wasn't in no shape to actually win the fight. And they lost. Depleted. That's what happened. You weak as hell. Round number 7, round number 8, you're already running out of gas. From them 3 months, losing 40 pounds. You think it's easy? People think because fighters lose a lot of weight in a short amount of time that it's easy. You think losing 40 pounds in 3 months is easy because it's 3 months? Don't you know that some people can't lose 40 pounds in a whole year? And a fighter losing that in 3 months, what effect that has in somebody's body? So those fighters who stay inactive for a long time and balloon up in weight, they have a tough time coming back. 2 years, and then now you got to go in a training camp, lose 30, 40 pounds. Oh, nah, you cooked. You was cooked. It's not the same like the fighters who, like, think about Terence Crawford. When he fought Canelo Alvarez, he had been inactive for a year. You forgot he fought Madrimov and stayed inactive for a year. Okay, he's inactive, but he's in the gym. He running, he sparring, he jumping ropes. He preparing like crazy. He preparing like crazy in life. So when he went into a training camp to fight Canelo, he was actually cutting weight. Well, all these people saying that he was too small, and I posted a video about that. The night that Canelo fought William School, or the day that Canelo fought William School, at 168, Canelo made weight, right? 168. Terence Crawford took a picture with him on a scale, and he was weighing 184. 184. So that day that Canelo weighed himself, Crawford was almost 20 pounds heavier than him, bigger than him on that day. And people talking about he was too small. I even had somebody tell me that Crawford was probably going to show up to the fight like at 165 or 164 because he was too small and he was probably not going to be able to gain the 168. And I'm like, this fool don't even know Crawford walking around in the 180s right now. Right now. So, ultimately, it's not just the weight. It's about what type of shape you staying in. If you gain weight, but you gain it, working out, it's a different story. But if you're sitting at home like this, and you gain 20, 30 pounds of fat, you got a fat belly now, and now you're going to a training camp to lose all that fat, that can have an impact on how your fight plays out. But I want to say this. Somebody pointed out or said that Richard Torres Jr. got weight problems. He's a heavyweight. And he's a strong dude. And yes, he looks a little bit fluffy in the mid area. But I haven't seen no signs of him having issues in the ring because of his weight. I haven't seen that yet. Some guy sitting at home watching boxing for breakfast getting fat. Oh, nah, hold on. Because, see, the thing is, boxing for breakfast is nice and early in the morning. So you watch it, and then you got your whole day ahead of you to be active. The lunatic libertarian agrees. Look, man, nah. I'm not going to be the guilty one of us getting fat over here. I'm going to end this show right now. Fuck out of here. You're going to get skinny. I'm out of here. My peoples, but real talk, I am getting out of here. I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Salute to my guy, Some Guy, the lunatic libertarian, cross-country hustler, JJ Zendejas, West Dusset, Juan was in the building as well. Yes, sir. Daisy Sanchez was in the house. Big Talk Media. Salute, family. Tay, what's the deal? You guys know what it is, man. Later on today, I'm gonna go live again. We're gonna talk boxing a little bit more. We're gonna, we got a good weekend of boxing. We got more things to talk about. Is Rolly's really gonna duck Giyasov? We gotta have that conversation, man. We gotta have it. Fellas, I'm out of here, man. I'm JSmiff. I'm signing off. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Share the videos, man. Share this stuff. Share with everybody. Share it on your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, all over the place. Let's get to number one a little bit faster. I'm out of here, fellas. Bam. Yes, sir. Let's go get this money.